Should you treat your kids equally in your estate plan, in your will, in your trust? We get asked that all the time. Again, that is a super, super, super personal decision. You know your kids more than anybody else. But I will tell you one thing. I hear this all the time. I hear my clients say, well, my oldest, he doesn't really need it. He's, thankfully, he has a stable job. He has a stable family life. I think he's doing okay. My youngest, he's 40. He doesn't own a place yet. He's still renting. I just think that he needs it more because, his situation is not as stable. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave the bulk of it to the youngest because he needs it and the oldest doesn't need it. That's fine. But I want you to take a step back and think about this. I understand, I'm a parent. I understand that we sort of gravitate towards the child who needs us the most, right? And we want to step in and we want to, save it and make it okay. But think about what's going to happen when you're no longer here, right? And these children are learning that the oldest is getting, 30% and the youngest is getting 70%. The oldest may feel like this. The oldest may say, okay, well, I understand that I don't need it as much as my, younger brother because I have always tried to make the right decisions and I've always tried to hold down a job. And, while I was in school or while I was working, my brother was at the bar 5 times a week. And while I, got a paycheck and I saved some of it or I invested some of it and tried to make prudent choices, my brother was blowing it on trips or, treating his friends to the bar or whatever. So there's a reason that I'm more stable, than my brother is, but it didn't happen by chance. It happened because I tried and I made these choices and it wasn't fun doing them, but I understood that that was the right thing to do. And so it feels like I am now getting punished for making the right choices, the prudent choices. Also, if my brother's so irresponsible with money and that's what he's shown for 40 years, you're now leaving 70% of your stuff to my brother. So again, that's what can sometimes happen. That decision can create resentment. And my advice to you is to just think about that because you won't be here anymore, right? To explain these things. And that can cause resentment towards your children, right? Towards you, but it can also cause resentment between your children, between themselves. And that's not great. If that's what you want to do, by all means, you have total authority to do it. But just do it in a conscious way so that you know what you're doing, so that you don't have unintended consequences and unintended resentment. We're here to help.